Welcome back, people. I think we've been putting this off for quite some while now. Alright, let's get through this as quickly as possible here. We're just gonna delete this middle row because it's only good. It's only really good, really bad, not so good, really bad. I think I said really bad twice. But this tier list, coming from a master player, it's gonna be how well the champion is to like climbing, how easy it is to climb. Okay. Now, if you guys don't want to watch the full video, spoiler alert, it's this guy. Even though I can't really raise him. Boom. This is the only champion you need to climb to high tiers, all the way up to masters, because that's how I did it. Okay? Easy peasy. Alright, let's see. I can make a whole video on this, but we'll go into depth later. Maybe I will make a video on it. Okay, first, Ari. Where to put her at? I'll put her in C. She's actually, like, everyone here on this list can potentially be a B tier, depending on how you play them. The players with experience know this as well, that no champion's 100% bad and no champion's 100% good. But in my opinion, Ari is pretty good, but she's pretty much B. I have trouble playing with her, but she's very situational. I'll put her in A because she's not that terrible. Okay, Akali is really good. Okay. Oops. We're actually gonna make another tier. We're gonna add a row. This one's gonna be, oops, because Shinamir gets a tier on himself by a whole self. Okay, like, this is the champion you need. Go and decline. I'll explain it in depth later. Okay, but everything about this guy, how he plays, like, for like beginners, even to like pros, is he's well in all forms, and he's very difficult to not do so well with. If that he gets his own tier. Okay, Akali, really good assassin. Okay, I seen her outplay potential. It's too wide. It's too good. So much mobility, escapes. I think she may have a problem with like really tanky champions, but even then, she can make quick work of them. S tier for sure. All right, auction, not S tier. I say I'll put him in. He's C tier. He's okay. He has an invisible. He goes invisible, but it's it's very situational, and he has a lot of mobility. He's also a marksman too, so he gets eaten up pretty bad. Fun sites, snack. Fun sites. All right, continue on. Alistar support. Should I just make a tier? Yeah, we're just gonna make a tier for supports. Add a row below. Oh, whoops. Uh, this one's gonna just be for supports because with supports you don't have much control of the game per se. I'll just arrange supports by what good they are. They have their own tier list. Supports you can't really carry games that as well. That's why I would never go support. I never really go support. Like you can make plays to end games, but like to straight up like carry the whole match by himself, like with farm, like taking down towers. It's not very much of support to do that, which is pretty much essential to winning games. Braum, Alistar Braum. I'll put him before Alistar. Okay, Umumu. He has a slow, which is pretty good. Alistar has a lot of more CC than Braum, and Alistar doesn't really die once he uses ult the right way. Okay, Umumu jungle. I think jungle. He's definitely not A tier. Let's put him in C tier. I wouldn't really recommend that guy for jungle. For me, um, there's worse jungles than him, but for him, he's a little slow. Also, he relies a lot off his bandage toss, which means you gotta really aim and hit the target, which is not really easy to land with skill shots. But you have to, just in case you missed the first one. And after that he ults. But other than that, he just soaks damage, and most of the time they'll eliminate you before you can do that, and then you're just kind of useless. Okay, Annie, she's okay. Especially with her new rework, makes her Tiberius jumps for more CC. It's okay. Mm, she's still she's if you play her pretty solid, she can be just as good as Ari. But to solo carry and put her to S tier, not I don't think so. Okay, Ash ADC. Okay, Ash is just a solid ADC. It's just your basic ADC. It slows, ulti starts. You could start team fights with the ulti. I say pretty solid ADC. Aurelion Soul. I wouldn't recommend him. I would even play him. His his mechanics is just too predictable. Like there's no really wow factor with Aurelion Soul. He's pretty much predictable. Like the only thing I see him as a problem is him going over walls, terrains when he has his stun up. But other than that, there's like no real wow factor to that guy. Okay, Blitzcrank support. Okay, Blitzcrank can go in between. Blitzcrank can ruin ruin lanes early game. I say I'll put him better than Alistar. He can win lanes pretty early, and then have their marksmen pretty fed, so they can go to the other lanes pretty fast. If the enemy team doesn't know how to dodge hooks, okay. Bran, okay, Bran's a tough one. I'll put him at top of A tier or S tier. He has so much damage potential, but he dies pretty quickly. He dies pretty quickly, and you have to land all his skill shots. So I'm gonna put him in high A. Okay, Caitlyn. Okay, she's pretty good. ADC. I will put her better than Ash for sure. Mm. Due to her crit damage, and her long range, which like outpokes pretty much anyone. Yeah. Okay, let me just rearrange this. Auction or Mumu, they're about the same. Okay, but I wouldn't put auction over Ash for ADC wise. All right, Camille. she's she has a really good ulti that can lock down carries. I think it's really good. She's used up in high diamonds and high masters and so forth because she can really pin down a target and eliminate them in a team fight. And they can't escape, they can't flash out, any of that. Um, I wouldn't put her in S tier because she can be difficult to play, especially when she uses her cables to lock on a target. I rarely even hit like people with the cables, which gives her additional attack speed. So that's pretty hard to aim. Okay. Okay, Corky. Corky is C tier. He's a lot of he's like an AP marksman. He's a lot of I would say like poke damage, but other than that, it's just poke damage. If the team has a really good healer, then yeah, the poke damage is like a Soraka. The poke damage doesn't really do that much damage, but yeah, I seen people get melted because I wasn't aware of the damage output. Okay. Darius, I'll put him in A tier because his big thing about him is his ulti and his 5 stacks, which give him the true damage. But other than that, if he doesn't have ulti, he's just running around, trying to figure out what to do. Put people on time. 10 seconds. Okay. Also, you kind of have to get really, really close. Maybe even use a flash to like really get that target. So I don't really recommend Diana. I'll put him in. I'll put her in. I haven't really played Diana. Yeah, sorry. Actually, Caitlyn belongs in S tier, by the way. A tier. A tier. Mumu A tier. Ash is okay. Okay. Okay, Diana. I don't really play her too much, so I don't really know her that well. But she has really good um, assassin potential, mid laner. It's like her kit makes her dash just like dash a few times, but other than that, I don't really see her as like most of the time a threat. because she pulls you in, and if she doesn't kill you with her burst, then she has nothing else to do but just try to walk out. Yeah, I don't recommend her too much. Draven, I'll put him in C tier. He has really good damage potential, damage output. But if you drop axes in the middle of the team fight, or just in general, and if you die with having stacks, like it can be difficult to recover. Which that's usually happens with beginner Draven players. They they see other Dravens like get massive power strikes, but then then when you play them and you drop axes and like in team fights it's like not so good. And then you have to wait for it to get all cooled down. So I don't. He can be good, but I don't really recommend him. I would definitely prefer more solid players like Ash or Caitlyn. Okay, Doctor Moon though. Okay, mm, he's a tank. Doctor Moon was tank. Cleaver. Like he just soaks damage. That's his whole thing. I don't really recommend that. He can chase and like prevent a little bit of CC, but he doesn't have much kit going on. Put him in D tier. Okay, Echo. I see there are pretty good Echo players. Potentially, like he can't really die if you always just ult out. But the thing is, with this ult, his ult does massive damage. So at this, so you can be close to the enemy for like extra burst, or you can use his ulti to get out. So he, with this parallel convergence, he can stun like while in a bush, catch the enemy off guard. He's very tactical, and if you get the hang of him, he's really good. But I really don't recommend him for beginners. Yeah. Mm, we're gonna we're gonna put eight Caitlyn in S tier because she's a really good marksman. Yeah. Okay, Evelyn. I I pretty much never play Evelyn, but basically she goes invisible. It's an invisible assassin. If if you're playing against like a new person, then yeah, Evelyn's gonna be a problem. But if you have experience in the game, uh, she's not too much of a threat. Her ulti execution can catch you off guard, and after escape route, she can be like slippery, but she's not too much of the game changer. Maybe early game, but yeah, she has even if she is invisible, she has to she has to mark you first, which lets you know that she's around. So yeah, it's kind of it's alright. Put her C tier. Ezreal, marksman. Mm, I'll put him in C tier. He's good poke. He has good poke and like far range ulti. But I feel like in team fights his damage is lacking because of his specific build he has to kind of build. So yeah, he's good escape. He can be really slippery and can be annoying at times. But yeah, he, he's kind of weaker on the damage side. Okay, Fiora. Okay, I have really never played her, but from what I like seen for her, she can be really, really good. I could put her in S tier if I had more experience, more knowledge about her. But yeah, versus like Tryndamere, just eats up. If she doesn't outplay, she's more of an outplay kind of champion. I'll put her in the top of S tier. She's more outplay. Okay, if it is mid lane assassin, mm, I haven't really played him that much, but he's a melee mage, so which means he kind of has to go in. He has to go in and fight, but he's has a really good potential. With his ulti shark, displaces enemies, a lot of burst. Yeah, I'll put him in C tier. I don't have that much knowledge of him, but I probably wouldn't recommend him for the success for beginners. Gallia. Mm. I seen Galio players play really well. I don't really like his kit too much. He is like kind of like a support ulti. He has like a like a projectile skill and like a dash skill. He's a wonky kind of guy. I don't recommend him. He's easy to play by far means, but he's kind of really wonky. Okay, Garen S tier. All right. Than Tatum. This Garen is he's he's super easy to play. You can have like a great amount of success with him. If you build war marks with him, it's pretty much infinite. He doesn't have to go back at all. He doesn't use mana. He has an execution skill, in which in this game it gaps on people. He's really good. The con about him that he's like kind of melee, and his other skills they may not do as much damage. That's like kind of like the big con. He doesn't do that much damage, but what I use warmogs and I go in and out of team fights. So if I'm running low with the warmogs, you can regen health really fast. It's a pretty broken skill that not a lot of people are catching on. But I've really climbed out. I have really climbed out with this guy. Climbed pretty high, pretty much all the way to like emerald rank. Just doing like the silly in and out regen tactics, like not going back, going to different lanes, just keeping the pressure on the enemy. Phenomenal player. Okay, Gragas. I don't have too much. I don't have too much experience with this. With them. He has barrows. I'll put him in. I'll put him in D tier. 'Cause I don't see too much potential out of this guy. Like he can go top lane, of course, but I don't see him like being too much of a threat. Like, oh shit, there's Gragas type deal. Okay, Graves. He's a pretty solid jungler. I've only played him a few times, and when I did, it's very difficult to die with him. Plus, he has a lot of burst, burst damage. I put him in A because he's a really good jungler. He might be a little bit confusing at first, but maybe after 1 or 2 games, you get the hang of it. Yeah, he can space out pretty good too. Okay, Gwen, I'll put her in A tier. I haven't really played her that much, but I have seen like I had debated to try to test and buy her because her kit is really good in mobility and in true damage, and she's a mage as well, melee mage. Like Fizz, Fizz is a melee mage as well, but her kit, it just destroys. It just destroys like Fizz's because Fizz is you're just in and out, while she can like dance around like the whole team fight and with mobility, and if she needs to leave, she can leave without pretty much a problem. I'll put her in. I'll put her in S tier. Okay. Same thing with Aurelia. There's the thing with Aurelia. There can be really good. There can be really good Aurelias, really bad Aurelias, and just dominate the whole map Aurelias. And once you get the dominate around the map Aurelia, it's it's difficult not to try to learn and try to and play herself. But you have to know her kit like extremely well to in order to have success with her. It's just like many like in passive like dash mobility um skill set. I guess disarms you. She's really good, but I don't know her too much. Okay, Janna support. She's okay. From the stats, she has really good stats. I don't have her. I rarely play support. J4. Let's see how many got left. Got a whole lot left. Okay, J4. J4. I'll put him in very low, very low A tier because quick rigs like over here. Like I put him as J4. Excuse me. J4 can lane, but he's mostly in the jungle. His big thing is his ulti that keeps people in, but you can flash out of it, unlike Camille's. And with Vayne, you can pin people to the wall with that, so it's very situational. Any ulti that like gets people stuck in it and gets pretty much eliminated in team fights is pretty solid. Like you can't really go wrong with that. Jax, I put him in top of A tier. Top of A tier. Better than Fiora. Mm, Jax is okay. We all know Jax can like pop stop people. He he has a lot of burst, low cooldowns, a lot of mobility. He has an ulti that gives him that just grants some defense. He's very easy, so I'll put him in top of A tier because he's really easy to play, and you can pretty much build him however, very diverse. Okay, Jace, cool. I probably I seen like up people in diamonds and masters, they know how to play Jace, but if you're like beginning, starting out, I wouldn't recommend this guy because he has too many skills and which all relies on mana. But I think if you like nail him down, he's very diverse. So he doesn't go in all in like one tier. He's like a little bit here, a little bit range, a little bit melee, a little bit there. He's like a little bit of everything. That's why I don't really recommend him. Okay. Oh, okay. Now we have Jin. Phenomenal phenomenal marksman. He definitely he's definitely S tier. He he has so his burst damage is too strong. Like when I was playing Jin when I was playing Jin for like the first few times, I'm I'm like, yo, how does he do this much damage? I am even today I'm still confused about how he does so much damage. And his fourth shot always crits. His ulti's long range. He's like it's when I was playing him and then I played the other ADCs, I'm like that guy is a free win for sure. He's free win. I don't know how to explain it. They busted him, but they haven't fixed him either. So I don't know what's with that. Okay, Jinx is really good for beginners. I'll put her in S tier as well because she's super simple. She cuts two towers. She's like a long range ulti. The thing for her, the same thing with Jin. They don't have mobility, so like if they get caught out, they're pretty much done. They have to hit flash or marry a barrier. Caitlyn has some mobility. If you need more mobility, you'll play Caitlyn. I'll put these all. But with Caitlyn, she doesn't. I s- she can carry as well, but not as hard as like maybe Jinx. Like Jinx is late game, way late game. Okay, okay, Kasai, she's up there as well with these four. But for me, when I play her, she can be very confusing with her kit. I seen like I partnered up with people that play her really well, but when I played her, it's like so different. I put her in A tier because she does have a potential to like not be as good, but compared to these guys, can they're just good like off the bat. But her, she's a little different, yeah, which makes difficulty curve like a little bit difficult to play. Right, Karma. I wouldn't put Karma's a really good support, but I wouldn't put her as a support because she can go mid lane. I'll put her at the end of C tier because she's a really she's solid with her kit. That's pretty much it. She can be fun to play as well. So I put her in C tier. I haven't really played her, so I can't really do much. I can't really talk about her too much. Okay, Cassidon. Cassidon. Not a lot of people have been playing him lately. I'll put him in D tier because his main thing. The reason why people really play him is because his ulti. He pretty much has a flash like every maybe 8 seconds, which costs mana. And then right now there's so many champions with high mobility like Akali and Fiora. That that Cassidon's mobility is it's a pain to use. You have to I know for sure in the desktop game you have to build mana for his like ulti to be viable, like to use multiple times. But I'll put him in D tier because he's a melee uh, mage champion as well. So you have to be in the fight, and then you have to go out the fight to stay survive. I don't recommend this guy. Okay, Katarina. I'll put Katarina in C tier because she's just the killing machine pretty much. When she's fed, she can be a really big problem. But after I think late game when people start really like kind of tinking up, she can't really one shot those guys unless it's the ADC. But the ADC will probably be protected as well. Hold on a second. Being killed off by her support, by their support. I don't really recommend Cat, even though you might see like montages of like her getting pentakills and all that. It happens very rarely, and she is the champion that can get those pentakills. If you want like yeah, if you want like pentakills, just yeah, you can play her. But if you're trying to win the game, I don't recommend it. Mm, I don't recommend her. Okay, Kelm. I'm putting Kel in S tier, but the low S tier because she 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 doesn't really do anything until level 15, which can take a while. And the game can really end before then, which can be a little bit difficult when playing Kel. Yeah, if you fall behind on Kel too, it can be very like daunting. But if you once you do hit that late game, she's pretty much like her damage output and mobility. It's like it's really insane. That's why when you play against Kel, you want to try to end the game early, because when she hits the late game spike, it's very difficult to kill her, especially with the ulti that doesn't allow her, kind of like Chindemer doesn't allow you to um, take damage or even die. Okay, Cannon. I don't really play this guy too much, but I'll put him in D tier. AOE. If you're not experienced playing against Cannon, then yeah, he can really catch you off guard sometimes with the stuns and like the empowered skills. He catch you off guard, but I don't recommend this guy. He can be good in team fights as well with the Zonias, but I don't play them because I just see too much potential. Kha'Zix, I'll put Kha'Zix in A tier. He's a really good assassin that not everyone plays, but when you do play him, he 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 has potential to like pick off enemies one by one with this jump ability that resets. I don't play him too much as a jungler, but I know like in the jungle he can be a problem. Okay, Lee Sin. Lee Sin. I'll put him in A tier as well. I do recommend playing him, if not maybe for beginners, but after a few games he's really fun to play. Since he is like really fun, you probably will play him often, so you probably will learn a lot more about his kit. But I seen he's very early game, but I've seen Lee Sin like just dominate early games, go like one like 10-0, like 10 like before 10 minutes in. Just yeah, insane potential mobility. His kit is like all around A tier for sure. Okay, Leona support. He's kind of like Alistar, Alistar Blitzcrank. Has a lot of CC. Doesn't really die tank. She could be a really problem early game because her aggro is just her just sitting in lane, waiting to like hook herself onto you, and then stun you, and then the enemy ADC will just focus you. So yeah, that can be a problem sometimes. Okay, Lucian. Lucian's okay. Lucian's okay. He's certainly like he's more solid than Draven. But he's not as good as Jinx and Caitlyn for sure. He can be, but is he better than Kasai? They're on this. I would say they're on the same like length, but not a lot of like no. They don't really play Lucian like that. I'm not sure why. I don't play him that much. His passive makes him like auto twice. I'll just put him in C tier. He's okay. He's like if I would play Ash. I would play Ash than Lucian for sure. Lulu support. Lulu support is kind of confusing. I mean not confusing, but annoying. She can shield. She can like whimsy the ally, which means like they transform them into. They can't use any abilities but just move. She can be really annoying support. Even if you focus her, she'll just use the skills on herself. Yeah, she's pretty good though. Nonetheless, I would definitely play her for a non-tank support. Okay, Lux. Lux is S tier because Lux is going to be S tier because her whole kit is really solid. And the thing the thing for her, if she misses her skill shots, then she can like she might be in some trouble. She might be in some trouble if she misses her skill shots. But yeah, other than that, her skills come back off cooldown really fast. It has potential to zap low enemies from across the map. Okay, Malphite goes in C or D tier. He has a really strong ulti, but his ulti cooldown is a long time. But it can be a really game changer. But the thing it's just his ulti really. Like his Q is a single target. I know he has a ground pound, and then W has the auto people. The thing is, the people have to be really close together for Malphite to be efficient, and players aren't that close as like Malphite as needed for like Malphite. Unless they play like really close together, then I'll understand Malphite. But since they don't really do that, all his other skills can be kind of a little weak. So I'm putting Malphite in D tier. Okay, Master Yi. We all okay. If you played the game, we all know that Master Yi can go in S tier, or he can go all the way down to D tier. S tier, D tier. There's a really good Master Yi, and there's really terrible Master Yis. It's very easy. I wouldn't. Okay, my Master Yi is a C Master Yi, and then maybe one game there's like an A Master Yi, but Master Yi in S tier though for beginners. If you don't know how to play against Master Yi, then yeah, he does belong in an S tier spot. But in Masters or Diamonds, in Masters or Diamonds though, he's not so good. I If I don't put Master Yi in D tier, then you and I left him A tier, then that means you only play like. That means you probably think I only played 10 games. But yeah, Master Yi, he just really just runs in a straight line to people, and his alpha strike makes him pretty annoying. But Master Yi can be so useless sometimes that you have to like side push lanes. He's an in between, dude. There is no A tier Master Yi and C tier Master Yi. When you see a Master Yi, even though I said that I'm a C Master Yi or A, once once you see a Master Yi play, you can only categorize them as an A tier or a D tier. But for me, I'm putting Master Yi in D tier, especially because I main Trendemir and he can't really do all that against me. All right, next. Misfortune. I'm putting Misfortune in C tier. She has a really good team fight ulti, but other than that, she feels like a she feels like she's kind of slow in the laning, like a kind of like a tank, because she shoots like cannons, which is kind of it's kind of difficult. She has she her Q can crit, and when you're not even in range, which can be a little bit frustrating, and like might send you back earlier than usual. But I haven't really seen too much like misfortunes, like carry games, solo carry games, like misfortune, like walks up on the team of like 5 people and like takes them all out skillfully and outplays them. No, not really. So I'm putting her in kind of C tier. Morgana support. Is she better than Alistar or Lulu? Okay, I've got to put them in between. Morgana's a combo champion. She can stun like she can stun like individuals for a very long time and have the rest of the team pick them off. But as a support, if no one really follows up, it's going to be hard for her to pick off those players. Okay, Nami support. She can be kind of annoying, but she buffs her marksmans. So she has a tidal wave ulti that knocks up people, and she has a bubble which you have to kind of land, which can be difficult. I'll put her. I'll put her. I'll put her. Mm, she's like the same as Braum, but I seen Nami players get picked more. Okay, Nasus. Nasus. I wouldn't recommend this guy. I wouldn't recommend this guy actually in D tier because you have to kind of stack with him. You have to stack minions. In the desktop game, it'll be fine, but they haven't really scaled it to because in the desktop it takes like maybe 30 minutes to 40 minutes to end the game. But here the games are only like 15 minutes, and I don't think they changed the stacking amount you get per minion. But he can still dominate games, but like, maybe for a beginner he can be like very difficult to use and have success with. Okay, Nautilus. He's just like Leona. Oh, I'll put him in front of Leona. Nautilus players, they're really they're I don't know how do I explain this. Okay, Nautilus is a tank. He has a hook that can hook you, and he has a slow. He has a lot of like CC. He has armored, self armored, and he can solo marksmen by himself pretty well. He's a pretty good support for a tank support. Perhaps maybe the best tank support. Okay, Nunu jungle. Okay, Nunu's the first champion I ever played in the desktop. but they have reworked them, so I never really played his reworked. Um, I'll put him in C because he's very easy to play and get the hang of. But I don't for carrying potential. I don't think he's too much. He carries too well. Sometimes he does. Sometimes he don't. If if the team follows up on a really big snowball, then yeah, I could see him being like a carry. But I have seen frustrated Nunus because no one really follows up on him. Okay, okay, Olaf. I'm putting Olaf in A tier. His ulti makes him doesn't get CC'd, but he still takes damage, which is kind of like Tryndamere. Uh, he'll just auto you to death because he doesn't take any CC. Like the nearest like ally, just like chops him down with like true damage. He has a slow. He's pretty solid. But I don't own Olaf though. I don't own Olaf. But he's still really good for not like an auto attack champion. The thing is, he still takes damage in his ulti, so you have to kind of have to start team fights with that, and it just says, "Hey, I'm going in, guys." And yeah, okay, Oriana, mage, mid laner. Mm, I probably don't recommend her because is her kit doesn't really do that much. She can be a support as well, but like her ball and everything, it's it's mainly defensive. As how I see her kit. I think, of course, there's people that do really well with Oriana, but I think her kit is a little bit too defensive for me. So I'm putting her D tier. Pantheon. Pantheon's really good. Especially, I think he could be one of the best out there, especially for the mobile, because for the mobile version, you, you just you just hit the button. You just hit the buttons and they jump. Pantheon jumps on him, and his spear he throws the spear, which is projectile. He's in his ulti, since the map is smaller, he has the potential to like jump across the map, which is really good for like version of this game. I haven't really played him, but he has really good potential to split push and then jump in team fights and then burst down people. Yeah, and then run off. He's I say really good. Okay, Pike can be Pike is I'm gonna say Pike is one of the best supports in the game. He can also go mid laner. His his execution, like if I had to play support, if I'm in support role, I'm playing Pike because Pike doesn't feel like a support champion due to his ulti executions and his mobility. He feels more of like a solo champion. But he can potentially carry games with his kit. Okay, Raikkonen. For me, Raikkonen is just really annoying. He has a knockup and then he has a charm, but like other than that, I don't see him as a big threat or game ulti changer, game changing. Okay, Ramus. I don't really recommend Ramus. Ramus is a little bit too slow, and plus he has to rely on other team to like follow up on him. And plus, since Ramus is like really kind of fast, the other team might not be ready for him to engage. So I'll put him in D tier. Okay, Renekton. Renekton's pretty solid. I don't have Renekton, but Renekton is pretty solid. If I were to play him, I think I would play him pretty well. If I were to main him, and if I wanted to climb with Renekton, I think it would be very possible to do that with Renekton. Okay, Rengar. Rengar is pretty solid as well, but for these champions, you might need a couple games under the belt to understand how they really work, and the same with Kha'Zix. For them to really work, you kind of have to know the champion already beforehand, and then you can pretty much climb by using their kits, which makes it easier for most other champions. Okay, Riven. Riven's okay for top laner. I don't know. I would put her. I probably wouldn't recommend Riven to climb and for beginners. I don't see too much success with her due to due to her like her attacks being kind of slow and her skills. You have to even auto attacks in between. Of course, Riven has exceptional outplay potential with her dash shield, but I still feel like she's incomplete. Yeah, Samara is good to get Sai. Here, I'm gonna put Kasai can stay up there. Samara, I haven't really played her that much. A few times actually, but I think as a beginner, you can be kind of frustrated with her because you're not getting the same results as like others when they play her, because she takes a little bit more time to get used to because her attacks is range and melee. Okay, Senna's a really good support, really good non-tank support. She also can be a marksman as well. So yeah, owning her is not a bad idea. Okay, surfing, surfing's S tier, straight up S tier. For some reason, her skills they do a lot of damage, especially when they proc twice. She has an ulti that charms like enemies from a long distance, and then you can um, Q again, use more skills on them, which is like pretty much a solid combo. She's very strong. She's like really, really strong. I didn't play her at first, but like once I started, I did this segment where I only play champions that were free or given to me at the beginning of the game or after the tutorial. And after playing her, I was like, wow, she's actually really strong. So yeah. And then now when I play, like if I actually need like a decent support, I'll just play Seraphine, and you can actually go mid lane with her as well. And due to her damage potential output as a mage. Okay, Set's pretty good. I I would put him in A tier. I'll put him in eight. Mm, yeah, just A tier because you have to play him really specifically. Like, he can like if you're not prepared to face this guy, then yeah, he can really dominate games. He can also carry as well. Yeah, definitely set A tier. I would have put him in S tier because he's a tank. Well, not really a tank, but he's a bruiser, and his kick can be a little bit confusing, especially with his haymaker W and his ulti, which displaces an enemy. So yeah, and his Q has to go melee form. Yeah, you have to kind of be really close. If you miss his head splitter, then yeah, his you may have to wait for that to get off cooldown. So yeah, probably you probably want to go hex tape out this guy. also as well. So that's an item. Okay, Shin in this game. Oh, I definitely don't recommend him. I just I don't see too much like carry potential from this guy. Uh, he has potential ulti. He goes in the top lane. He can potentially like save people like marksman from the bottom lane, but then he has to go walk up top. Yeah, he doesn't really split push that fast, and he's a defensive kind of guy. He's a defensive outplay champion. Okay, Shyvana. I'll put her in C tier because if you don't know what build to build her, and you don't know what's really good on her, because right now AP Shyvana is really good. In the desktop game, I would play her AD Shyvana, but the AP Shyvana, just like it's really, she can really take. I sometimes I die to Tryndamere here because to Shyvana because she has a lot of mobility and the range on her her Spitfire is pretty long. So and she can catch up to you. Yeah. So Shyvana is really good. I wouldn't put her in A tier because earlier, like I said, you can't if you don't know how to build her, then yeah, you don't know how to like play her in the jungle as well. She can be a little bit confusing and hard and difficult to carry with. Okay, we have Singe. I definitely do not recommend this guy. He has a completely different playstyle than almost all the other champions in the game. And once you catch on to that, it's like, oh, it's Singe. Don't chase Singe. Don't follow Singe. So to counter this, Singe will probably get Ghost and Flash, so you can run up and get the ADC, flip him, and then just like walk around the ADC. He can. His ulti doesn't really like do that much. Okay, Sion. I don't recommend Sion either. There's like, because his passive when he dies, he can still like he can revive and like still attack you, but it's just it's just not that good unless you don't really notice him like hitting you. He has he has he has CC, but just pretty slow. You have to really charge it up for it. There's many other like better top laners. As the one thing for him though, he has an ulti that that he can charge down a lane with and like knocks them up, which can be a team fight starter if they're not ready for that. Okay, we got a few more here. We're probably going to rapid fire through here. Okay, Sona, she's like a downplayed Seraphine, but now everyone will recommend Seraphine other than Sona, which is kind of sucks. So she's low support. Soraka is she's up there. She can be very annoying with the heal. So you kind of have to focus her first. If you don't focus her first, then everyone else she's just going to heal everyone else from the back line, which can be a little annoying in team fights because they have more health than they should because Soraka keeps healing it back up at immense speeds. So I would put her. I probably wouldn't play her because she just sits in the back, and that's not my playing style. Support role is still not my playing style. Timo, I don't recommend. I would say more. He's like a troll pick. If If any of these champions get into melee form of Teemo, then yeah, he's getting eaten up pretty bad. That's why I don't really recommend. He relies on little like tricks, like hitting on like getting hit by shrooms, baiting them into shrooms, and then a blind. But versus the Tryndamere, I'll just wait out his blind, and I'll just like close gap, close gap is slow. Okay, Thresh, he's pretty good, but he can be a little difficult to play. A lot of it's been known that Thresh like players don't grab Thresh's lantern. It can be very difficult.
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Good?
Yeah.
Hey, you're comfortable, right?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
Have you been sleeping out here the last like 4 nights? No?
No.
Okay.
I have another pad. Yeah, that I'm still renting out.
Okay, that's what I kind of thought. I was like, he's either working a lot or he's got another place. Or
Oh,
a girl with a nice place.
this place here is it's fine. Yeah. The the other one, um, it's like it has like a lot like one more bunk bed, but it has another bathroom. So yeah, it kind of cancels it out there.
Good thing is it's limited at 7 now, so.
Huh?
So the good thing is it's limited at 7, so.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the only downside about it is the one bathroom, so.
And we all have to like share the same one.
I mean, as long as we're all respectful and clean it up, which is a conversation that we're all going to have at one point. But, I mean, other than that, we're all pretty chill. Have our own lives, do our own thing. That bathroom is, yeah, we got to figure that out. They should, I don't know, he was saying to me yesterday about, they were talking about putting another one in somehow. Maybe an outside shower or something. That'd be pretty cool.
I guess
the outside showers.
I haven't really seen it, but I guess that would work. Yeah. He also told me that he'll put the door back on, but yeah, I don't think he's gonna put the door back on. I don't know. I'm not sure why it's off either. Yeah.
He might. I would question if it will be correct. No, he's a good cat. He's got a lot of libido. You know, he's learning. He's at that age where he's learning to control. He needs tools though. They need to get him tools. They should buy them a nice work set for the house if they're gonna have them taking care of it. You know.
Oh.
They got to cut the bottom of the door and they got to chisel in the notches for the. Whatever the fuck it's called.
On the hinges or handles.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I just wish it's like there was like a little bit more space. Yeah, but you get what you get, I guess, out here.